They're signed in on bike check for the 109 riders in the 86th Holy Saturday Cycling Classic, started from 4 a.m. in front of the BTL Park. This year, the cyclists wore a black bow in memory of Ernest Dangalang Thurton, and by extension all fallen members of the cycling family. The defending champion and a national road champion took their positions at the front of the lineup. And at 5:50 they were off, the defending champion on his phone, for the ceremonial ride called a lead-out, which would take them through the city. The red flag denotes to the riders that the race had not started yet. It was a chance for the riders to ease their nerves, something like a soft start to the race, and a chance for the fans, those who could wake up in time, to see the cyclists not at race speed. At Lester's Imports, the white line marks the official start, a flying start as they call it, and they're off. First to make a significant move near Cisco was the 2012 champion Giovanni Chota of the Serie Road Addicts. With fresh legs, he set a blistering pace over 25 miles an hour, alone at the front. Behind him was everyone else, 11 Mexicans, 7 Americans, 2 Guatemalans, 1 Jamaican American, and 1 Spaniard. A total of 22 foreign riders and 87 Belizeans. For the 109 riders, each with a garland hope, however faint or remote. They were not chasing, knowing that they still had over 130 miles to go. Meanwhile, Chota knew that in 2012 he ran for 133 miles, not all of it solo, but enough to give him confidence this year. At Hattieville, Giovanni Chota was still flying solo and easily took the station prize. And just around a minute later, there's a chase. The pace accelerated now and whipping past our camera with a collective roar. As we approach Rockville, the first major chase group is formed. It features Giovanni's brother, Rafael Chota, David Henderson Jr., Florencio Ramos, and Juan Pablo Magallanes. At Rockville, Giovanni Chota still enjoys a 48-second lead, but the chase group of 4 are now closing in. By the time we reach mile 25, Giovanni has been caught, so the breakaway is now 5 riders heading into a crosswind. While flag-bearing fans try to keep up with them, at mile 36, it's Giovanni and Rafael Chota of Serie, David Henderson Jr. and Juan Pablo Magallanes of Benny's Megabytes, and Florencio Ramos of Team Predators Belize. And then there is a main bunch of riders led by American Scotty Weiss, still keeping it together. Heading into Belmopan, David Henderson sprints for the prize at Guanacaste. When we catch up with the leaders again, near the Dead Man Curve at mile 56, they are only 2, a pair of Mexicans who have separated themselves, Juan Pablo Magallanes and Florencio Ramos. The pair are familiar enough with the race. Magallanes finished 2nd last year, and Ramos also rode last year, famously dropping out of the breakaway for a teammate. But that wasn't happening this year. Some 2 minutes back, there is a 13-man chase group that includes Joel Borland, Giovanni Chota, Chris Harkey, Hector Hugo Rangel, Quinton Hamilton, David Henderson Jr., David Santos, Richard Santiago, Alejandro Miranda, and A.J. Myers, among others. At Mount Hope, the leaders are well ahead, and Florencio Ramos takes the prize, while the chase group is being led by 2-time champion Chris Harkey. At Central Farm, it's Magallanes who takes the prize, but the two are definitely working together. At the halfway point in San Ignacio, the fans have been lined up for hours to see this. The first 2 figures over the bridge, not quite what they might have hoped for. 2 Mexicans, but leading nonetheless. All those lined up in the town centers would wait another 2.5 minutes to see Team Telemedia's Joel Borland come across the bridge, followed by 12 riders making the turn around Columbus Park to the sound of noisemakers cheering and applause. It would be another 3 minutes before the main bunch wound around the park, a symphony of color and noise. When we catch up with the leaders, they are at Brick Wall, rounding the corner all alone, hardly laboring and making light work of the incline. The chase group that was 12 is now down to 6, and the missing 6 are all Belizeans. Those still there are Chris Harkey, Hector Hugo Rangel, the Miranda brothers, A.J. Myers, and David Santos. Some 2 minutes behind, the closest Belizeans are Richard Santiago, Joel Borland, Giovanni Choto, and Quinton Hamilton. At Guanacaste Park, the two Mexican leaders don't even have to fight for the station prize. But now the chase group of 6 is closing in. Again, all foreign riders. Around mile 40 on a rain-slicked road, the two leaders are showing signs of fatigue, stretching their backs, but still keeping the pace. By the time the race reaches around mile 31, the two leaders have been caught. And now another Mexican riding for Benny's Megabikes, Hector Hugo Rangel, has embarked on a solo ride. If you are wondering who he is, the last time he was here, the cross-country of 2010, when riding for Team Santinos, he attempted to pace Gregory Lovell from mile 35 to the finish line. He failed that time, but on this Holy Saturday 2014, unaccompanied and out front, he was hoping for a different outcome. With over 100 miles on him, Rangel bathed himself and still looked fresh, and had boosted himself into a comfortable lead over the 5 all-foreign chasers. Rangel at this time was being pursued by Alejandro Miranda, Florencio Ramos, David Santos, and sitting back, Magallanes. In the meantime, Hector Hugo Rangel drives on, showing fatigue now, and only 37 seconds ahead of the nearest chase group, but $5,000 richer after claiming the prize at RJB Construction. And by mile 7, they have him in their crosshairs, the once distant figure on the horizon now being closed in by the chase after about 30 minutes of a solo run. Heading into the Burton Canal Bridge, Rangel falls to the back and Magallanes is back at the front on the pace. Around the old Belize, Magallanes attacks and only Ramos and Miranda can hang on while Rangel and Santos get dropped. Heading into the city, passing Lester's Imports, it is two Mexicans and a Guatemalan. They stayed together coming into the city, to the sight of disappointed fans who lined the streets. The three still held together, heading into Freetown Road. But near IT Vet, they were caught by Rangel and Santos. At the finish line, those 5 sprinted for it, and Juan Pablo Magallanes of Team Benny's Megabytes came out as the winner of the 86 cross country, followed by 4 foreign riders, Alejandro Miranda, Ramos, Rangel, and Santos. And then 40 seconds later, 2 more foreigners, Julio Miranda, Scotty Weiss, and finally, the first Belizean finished 8th, Marlon Castillo for Team Telemedia. Though a Mexican won, he rode for a Belizean team, one which finally can claim a garland.
Being able to win means everything to us, right? In the end, the most important thing is to win, because this is the only race that we have not won since we have been in cycling, and to finally get it means everything in the world.
Would you have preferred one of your Belizean riders to win?
2 years ago, we rode exclusively for Byron, and we lost the race because of the way it played out. Today, we weren't going to go down that road. Byron would have had to been there to have basically been given the opportunity. He had to create his own opportunity, that's what I'm saying. And unfortunately, it didn't play out that way.
I don't like to talk bad about Belizeans. You guys have really good riders here. The problem they have is the mentality. They want to be taken to the finish, and that won't happen ever in any race. Wherever you go, you have to ride. If you want to make it to the end, you have to ride.
We just sit down and try to conserve our energy with the other guys that is capable of winning the race. And what happened is the foreigners started to work really hard, and they went in the early breaks. Really strong guys, that really high caliber cyclists that have the good ability that can win the race. They can go the whole entire way going and coming back. And we realized that we were in trouble when we reached Warren Creek. And the American team, the Hincapi team, started chase, but we realized that we were all in trouble, and it was hard to close in the gap.
They're used to the race coming back. The race is one coming back, but when you have that many guys going up the road with the legs to do it, you can't hesitate. You gotta go.
What happened? They are managers of the other bigger teams. They bring the foreigners to win because I know they don't have confidence in their Belizean cyclists that can win a race, so they want to match up. And when the other team bring in good foreigners, the other team want to do the same, and so that they can have a level of competition in the race. And what is their goal is to win the race, even if it's not a Belizean. Enough day is their team won, and that's what happened.
Es un país
It's a
que
country
tiene
that
buenos
has good
corredores.
riders. Their
Obviamente les
shortfall
falta
is
salir
not
más al
going
extranjero
abroad
para
to get a
que
feel for the
obtengan
pace
el
needed
ritmo
in
de
international races,
competencia
but they are
internacional.
very good
Pero
riders
sí
here.
hay buenos corredores por aquí.
Magallanes won the $6,000 first prize, and three-time cross-country champion Kenrick Halliday presented him with the winner's garland of roses from Florasol. Magallanes also won 8 trophies. From Digicel, the Ersten Kerr Cup, the Jeffrey O'Brien family, the Altry Smith family, Ludwig Buno Smith Memorial, the Green family of Los Angeles, the Donald Matura family, and the Norman Ashford Gillette Trophy. He also won a $400 shopping spree at Mirage, a return ticket to the USA from United Airlines, a return ticket from Maya Island Air, a bull from Cuello's Distillery, a 2-night stay at Barrier Reef Lodge in San Pedro, and a weekend stay for 2 at Captain Morgan's Retreat in San Pedro. $250 from LC Distributors, and an MP4 player from Go Wireless. He finished the race in 5 hours 45 minutes, 5 minutes slower than the record pace set in 2009. If you want just a little more cycling, stay tuned at the end of the news when the second place finisher Alejandro Padilla Miranda explains how the closing minutes played out as a cat and mouse game.